All right, let's talk T-Mobile Sprint. Shares of Sprint right now are up 74% on the news that a U.S. district judge ruled in favor of its deal to merge with T-Mobile. Now, the combined company will be called T-Mobile. They're saying goodbye to that Sprint brand name. Yahoo Finance's Alexis Keenan joins us now with more. Alexis, thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
What do you make of where we are with the merger? The merger that, I guess, 2 years is the time frame we hear a lot, but it feels like it's been much longer than that we've heard about these two companies wanting to merge.
Yeah, and they wanted to merge with other major telecoms in the past over a decade. So yeah, it's been a long road, 2 years in the making. The New York Attorney General saying that they are looking at their options for appeal, so we could see that coming as well. Don't know that yet. But look, this decision, 170 some pages, a really odd kind of a decision here. The judge saying that basically he's put in the position in a case like this, in an antitrust case dealing with these two major telecom companies, or three if arguably, that he's really put in a position of a storyteller and having to look into the crystal ball into the future to decide whether or not it will result, the merger, in anti-competitive behavior. He says, because I can't know that, I need to then look at human factors and how the corporate executives for Sprint and T-Mobile have run their respective companies. This is what the judge writes in the order. A presumption of anti-competitive effects would be misleading in this particularly dynamic and rapidly changing industry. T-Mobile has redefined itself over the past decade as a maverick that has spurred the two largest players in this industry to make numerous pro-consumer changes. The merger would allow the merged company to continue T-Mobile's undeniably successful business strategy for the foreseeable future. He went on to say that Sprint's attempts are overwhelmingly viewed as failed attempts to get their company in order. And so just looking, I guess, here at T-Mobile's behavior, giving a lot of kudos to this company to say, well, what they've done in the past might be predictive of the future, and I'm going to go with that.
It's pretty interesting. We had on a professor who had written a book some time ago that looked at pricing of things like telecommunication services in the U.S. versus other countries. And he used his home country of France as an example and found prices here a lot higher because there has not been the same sort of activism here as there has been in other countries. So it's kind of interesting that in this case, the judge has faith in these companies.
Seems to have some faith, though, and these judges certainly don't like to be overturned on appeal. But I have to say the door might be slightly open here if the basis for the decision are human factors and the way that these executives have run the companies. The judge pointed to all of these experts and lawyers, highly paid experts and lawyers that have testified in the case and saying that basically they cancel each other out. I'm going to throw them out the window and rely on something else here. So perhaps the door is open for an appeal, and we'll have to look for
This
that.
reminds me of the airline industry, where you had a lot of competitors for a long time keeping prices low, but then they kept going bankrupt. So so the industry had to shrink and consolidate to get to the point where you had stable providers. So we essentially have three telecom providers, including our parent Verizon. Are we counting Dish as a major competitor here?
Because you can't have mobile with Dish.
So it's really just three?
Yes.
So
I mean, what is Cricket?
Is that
We're going from 4 to 3. Cricket's a
Well, it's Cricket.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, like a check.
Subsidiary of something else. Yeah.
Well, and Dish will get Sprint's prepaid business. That's part of this deal.
Right.
Sprint is being forced to divest that part of its business. But again, I sat through some of the testimony, and the chances that Dish is able to really do it justice and bring a lot of telecommunication to those folks who can't afford the monthly service has yet to be seen. There's a lot of doubt surrounding that.
And Cricket, by the way, is owned by AT&T.
AT&T.
I just looked it up.
Yeah, Cricket.
Thank
Cricket,
you, Google.
AT&T, you're right.
There it is. Thank you, Google, and thank you, Alexis.
You're welcome.
Good stuff on T-Mobile Sprint.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.